I wanna, Chevra, before we start, there's a lot to learn, but I wanna sing together. Ani b'chastecha v'tachti, these beautiful words. Aviad, I wanna sing it together. B'chastecha v'tachti, I'm boiteach. I'm confident in Hashem's chesed to us. Did you ever, Davi, trust somebody so much? Just trust. You're gonna do good to me. B'chastecha v'tachti, I feel like I'm in good hands, and I trust your chesed, Hashem. I feel like safe. I feel safe. I'm in good hands. I trust. We've all met people in our lives that we just trust. And we're in good hands. We're in good hands. We're in good hands. Now here we're in good hands of somebody who has all the power in the world. That's the truth of our life. David Amel says, I mamish trust in your chesed. I trust. So let's do it. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. We're going to do more niggin. I want to share something as follows with the chevra. I want, if Daryl can concentrate, obviously no quotes. That's Pasha, that's Yisro.
Whoa. Hey.
Aviyad, let's go. This will be Kedai. There's a no code word.
Inappropriate address, bro.
Call Johnny out real quick.
Jonathan. You come with no shirt and get code.
Like this, Chevra. Yaakov Avinu, and Zeretata Yankiv, just finds out that Yosef HaTzadik is alive. He's the Maishal b'Mitzrayim. He's in Egypt. He's running Mitzrayim. He's the Mishnah Melech, the assistant to the king. And he finds out that Yosef's alive, and he decides to go down to Mitzrayim. The Psukim say, Vayisa Yisro. Yaakov Avinu travels v'chol asher loi, vayavai be'er Sheva. On his way to Egypt, he makes a little detour. He goes to Be'er Sheva, vayizbach zvachim lelekei aviv Yitzchak, and he brings karbanos to Hashem in Be'er Sheva. Inexplicably, on the way down to Egypt, Yaakov goes to Be'er Sheva. In Be'er Sheva, he has a dream, he has a mara, he has a prophecy, and Hashem tells him not to be nervous. Al tira merda Mitzrayma. Don't be afraid. Ki lugoy gadla simcha sham. Hashem gives him good promises. He has a prophecy in Be'er Sheva. Yaakov in Be'er Sheva, and again it says Yaakov gets up from Be'er Sheva and he goes to Mitzrayim. I want to say a little new this year of Ezi Shlit, a little bit new, is what hit me, Maish, a little new. This, I'm going to base on something I've said in the past, Jacob, but there's a new knech here, Davidel. My new knech that I noticed this year, in this past week's parasha, is that Yaakov Avinu goes to Be'er Sheva, but in Be'er Sheva, Hashem says, don't be afraid to go to Mitzrayim. It's very interesting to me. Yaakov planned on going to Mitzrayim, but it says that he traveled and he decides, the psukim before, Vayayim Yisrael, Rav, oy Yosef ben Ichai, my son's alive, El Chaverenu b'Terem Amos, I want to see him before I die. And then he travels. The Pashtus is he decided to go to Mitzrayim. He detours in Be'er Sheva. We have to discuss, Avi, I don't want you to hear Klor. What's that detour in Be'er Sheva? And then he has a prophecy, Avi, where Hashem says, don't be afraid to go to Egypt. He already decided to go. Kasha 1, Hashem says, don't be afraid to go to Egypt. He very clearly said, I'm going down. Hashem told him, don't be afraid. What's pshat? And then what's strange is we know he went to Be'er Sheva. The pasuk says he came to Be'er Sheva. He has a prophecy. Then it says Yaakov got up from Be'er Sheva, and they traveled in the Agalos, and they got to Mitzrayim. And he continued. He went. We know he's in Be'er Sheva. It said he's in Be'er Sheva. There's some hadgasha. There's some stress here that Yaakov goes from Be'er Sheva to Mitzrayim.
Very strange.
We knew he was in Be'er Sheva. There's something. It's the Torah Akdosh is saying something. Be'er Sheva empowers Yaakov to go to Mitzrayim. Be'er Sheva is where Hashem says, don't be afraid. There's some secret about Be'er Sheva that says, don't be afraid. Now, the fear of Egypt, of Yaakov Avinu's fear of Egypt. Any intelligent person is afraid. People think about this, where they live. People's dreams are their children should be servants of Hashem. And if you live in certain places, it's more likely. To go to Mitzrayim is a fear, is a tremendous fear. It's an atmosphere that's not loyal to Hashem. And of course, Yaakov would be afraid, the Shivtei Ka, to bring Am Yisrael to Mitzrayim, a very foreign country with foreign ideals. Where does Hashem say, don't be afraid to go to Mitzrayim in Beersheva? And Yaakov gets up from Beersheva and brings his family to Mitzrayim. What, pray tell, is Beersheva? What's this vart that Yaakov, before he goes to Mitzrayim, goes to Beersheva? What's Beersheva? That's the stop off before you go to Egypt. You got to bring Beersheva with you. And if you don't bring Beersheva with you, don't go to Mitzrayim. But you went to Beersheva, don't be afraid to go to Mitzrayim. So the Medrash tells us, Avla, that what he do in Beersheva, he was picking up Eishel Avram. Beersheva was where Avram Avinu practiced his kindness. The Eishel Avram was in Beersheva. The Eishel are the trees of Avram. Avram Avinu's chesed was done in Beersheva, the spectacular kindness of Avram, that he cared for the Zulas, that he cared for the next person. And he gave them, Eishel means trees, it also means Achila, Shasiya, and Levaya. He gave to eat, to drink, to sleep, Lino, or Levaya, who's Malava guests out. His chesed empire was run in Beersheva. And before Yaakov goes to Mitzrayim, he goes to Beersheva. The Medrash tells us that Yaakov Avinu actually took the trees of Avram and carried them down to Mitzrayim. And what did those trees become when we left Mitzrayim? The trees of Avram's kindness. They became the Bria Chaticha, the central beam of the Mishkan, the place of Ashras Hashchina. And what I want to say to the Chevra is the Chesed of a Yid, tapping into that place of kindness, the Nishmas Yisrael, the godly soul that wants to be mative, plugging into a world of Chesed, a people of kindness, is that space that makes it safe to go to Mitzrayim. Mitzrayim, a place that's distant from Hashem. But Avram Avinu's mechazik is he goes to Beersheva, he brings his children. He might have physically, I don't mind that the physical, that he's carrying the trees of Avram Avinu, but much deeper is Klal Yisrael always carries the trees of Avram Avinu. I want to say something, everybody pay attention for a minute. I want to say that one of the bases of our people is that we tap into our souls, we're givers. It's tapping into a deep place that wants to share and give and take care, a deep place of chesed. I wanted to speak about a specific thing to the Chevra. I wanted to say that I was extremely impressed. I'm speaking about Moshe and Chika, two friends. One of our friends got married, got engaged in Baltimore. And I want to say that Moshe and Chika went to the Simcha, Moshe to the L'chaim, Chika to the Vert. I want to say, Chika went both. I want to say, Chevra, be there for your friends, Chesed. It's a big zach. This guy used to tease around. I used to say, maybe it's overrated, people coming in from Eretz Yisrael for people's simchas. I don't think that way anymore. Care about your friend's simcha. It's a big zach. I promise you, a big zach. I'm growing up a little, maturing. I promise you make a simcha, you see who's there. It's not that you came to my simcha. It's a big zach. Chika got in a car and drove to Baltimore, his friend's Vart. 10 hours. He was there at his friend's Vart. Allow me to read, I'd like to read part of a letter. A Talmud of my father wrote a letter about my father to the family that I want to read to you. It's an unbelievable letter, but there's a specific thing I want to bring out. I'm going to read a little bit only to bring to the close Talmud. He's a beautiful person. He said, I was deeply saddened upon the p'tir of my dear Rabbi. I wanted to share about the profound impact that Rabbi Kalish had in my life, and I hope it will be a nechama to the whole family. When I entered Rabbi Kalish's share in 2011, I had just come off a very hard year academically and socially, and my self-esteem was very low. It all began to change the very first day I came to Rabbi Kalish's class. My Rebbe built me and genuinely believed in me. I remember I used the fact that he knew my parents well, as a reference of praise for me, yet it didn't start or end there. Rather, he truly believed and held of me for my own merits alone. I truly felt it. The belief that Kalish put into me really helped me to turn myself around, helped me to start to succeed in all areas of my life. Till I met Rabbi, I never felt specifically close to any Rabbi. Rabbi's warmth and love instantly drew me in. I still can't believe that a world-class Talmid Chacham of Rabbi's stature was able to be so present and warm with me. I still remember him putting his arm around my shoulder and lovingly speak to me as if I was the only person in the world. He goes on, a beautiful letter, but I want the Chevra, I'm bringing out a specific point, and I'd like to read like as follows. He has many good chidushim, but this is where I want to say. There is so much I could write to describe the closeness I felt to my Rabbi. I'm skipping a couple of paragraphs, but I will try to sum it up with a closing story. I had just decided to get engaged in Erev Shabbos and was waiting to make it official on Motzei Shabbos. That Shabbos had a hard time containing my excitement. I couldn't wait to share the news, but I didn't want to announce it yet, and it still wasn't official. I decided I'd walk to Harborview to Rebbe's house and tell him. Rebbe was resting at the moment, yet he made sure to make the trip together with the Rebbitzin to my Vart in Kew Gardens, my Afraf, and my wedding in Lakewood.
Oh my goodness.
In this beautiful letter, he describes that his Rebbe showed up to his wedding. The letter is very exact. My Rebbe came to my Vart, to my Afraf, to my Chasna. I want to say that something my father spoke a lot about, in his Mitzias, he showed up to people's simchas. Showed up. He was a busy man. He showed up to people's simchas. I want to beg the guys that Chesed keeps us safe. Chesed keeps a person in touch with your soul. Chesed, kindness, touching our souls that yearn to give. The soul is a piece of Hashem. It's just the ratzon lehetiv. The soul just wants to give. We get trapped and confused. I want to say one of the greatest things we could give to somebody is your simcha matters to me. It just matters. You show up to your friend simcha. And I want to ask the guys, be there for each other. Be there for each other's simchas. Your friend, to me, it's such a safety that you tapped in. Go to your friend's simcha. Go to your friends. Don't make cheshbonis. It's far, it's this, it's that. We're born for chesed. The line Reb Chaim, the line that the Nefesh HaChaim used to say, Reb Chaim Belazhin, Lo nivra ha'adam Elohei la'achriti. We were created to do something for another person. There's a line from the Piasesna. There's a line that Reb Shlomo Kalbach made famous. He said the Piasesna would repeatedly say, what's the line, Johnny? The greste Zach in the Welt is to jenem atoiva. The greatest thing in the world is to do a favor for another Yid. The greste Zach in the Welt is to do a favor. I want to say to the Chevra, show up for each other's simchas. Show up. If you're misopik, you go. Your friend simcha. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. Chesed. Yaakov Avinu's going. Mitzrayim's a dark and dangerous place. He goes to Be'er Sheva. Chesed shel Avram Avinu. From there, from that space of Be'er Sheva, it's safe to go to Mitzrayim. From the cedar trees, from the Eshel Avram, gets built the central beam of the Mishkan, saying something. Hashras Hashchina, a Yid's closeness to Hashem, what allows for that is the kindness of a Yid. We're a kind people. We're tapped into neshamas that just want to be meitiv and give and be there for somebody else. There'll always be cheshbainis, show up for another friend. That's what I want to beg the chevra. Show up for your friends. To me, it's such a safetyness. A person's so plugged into a good place. I'll be there for my friend. I'll be there for my chevra. I'm speaking, there's many ways. There's many ways to be there for a friend. I'm talking specifically, you go to his simcha, it's a big zach. It's a big zach. I told the chevra that I'm in a space, my appreciation to the yeshiva, I could say I meet people who traveled far to come into Nichum Avelim. Somebody's there in your difficult times, la yuman. It's not what they did this, they did that, they were there. They showed up. It's like a very powerful place. Your simcha's even bigger. Somebody came to your simcha, my simcha matters to you. You created space for my simcha. My simcha mattered to you. It's a big thing. It's normal to wonder, even a vart, what do I say? The man drove in. The man drove 10 hours, 5 hours minimum there and back. I thank Chika, being a tremendous example of chesed, that he drove 5 hours to be by his friend Simcha. So you say this, I'm at your Simcha, I'm here, a hug. I came to give you a hug. Your Simcha matters to me. Your Simcha is important to me. Your successes are important to me. I'm here. Your success matters to me. I appreciate that tremendously. Your success matters to me. I'm here to celebrate your success. It matters to me. So I appreciate the act of chesed. It's something that my father taught our family very stark. I want to be mechazik. Show up for your friend Simcha. As best as you can. We're human. We're all human. No guilt. We all miss Simchas. I miss him. We're human. I'm saying as best as possible. I'm not coming. We're human. We miss Simchas. We've all missed. I'm saying as best as possible. It's interesting. We all have a vested in. We're all going to make our own chasna and vart and afraf, and we want people to come to our simcha. I'm not saying to do it as a business. Well, if I go to his, they'll come to mine. I'm saying we can relate to it. We can relate. Every person makes a simcha. Such a good feeling. If anybody wants, and it's such a good feeling, you make a vart and people, the Kalish sees the fact, what a popular guy, such good-looking friends. It's a big zach. My father said that people underestimate themselves. I think a guy says, who cares? It's a big zach you go. It's a big zach. Good-looking guy like you shows up to the simcha. It's a big zach. Whoa, you don't just have friends, you have cool friends. Wow. Popular guy, it's a big zach. So I'm asking the chevra. Chesed assures, it's a funny world. It's nisyonis. It's an olam anisayin. Chesed and people Isaac and Chesed is from that space of Chesed. Hashem says, don't be afraid to go to Mitzrayim. You've tapped into Be'er Sheva. We asked the Kash. Hashem says, don't be afraid. He was already planning on going. Possibly, Maish, Hashem was saying, Yaakov Avinu made a cheshbon. He was bringing the shivtek on. The next pasuk says he takes as tapam bes l'sheim ba'galois shesholach paroi. He's going into Paroi's control. I want to tell you. The wagons Paroi sent to carry them. It's doch a dangerous thing, and he's putting his kinderluch into Paroi's chariots as a dangerous thing. So what makes it safe is he tapped into the sugyas of Chesed, the Eshel Avram. He brought his whole family, he made chizuk, maybe he gave shmuzim on chesed, maybe, I don't know what he did. He brought them to Eshel Avram. They did a family trip to Eshel Avram. He made a massive chizuk in the inyan of chesed, of caring one for another, being careful. In that space that a yid taps into chesed, that a yid cares about the next yid's there for the next yid, in that space Hashem says, don't be afraid of even Egypt. You'll be in the wagons that Paroi sent from the space of chesed, that you tapped into who you are, that you tapped into kindness, that in olam chesed you wanted, the purpose of giving and sharing. In that space you're safe from Mitzrayim. Vayakum mi Be'er Sheva, Vayakum yank mi Be'er Sheva, from that place of Be'er Sheva, the kindness of Be'er Sheva, from that place he takes his family, and they go in the agolos that Paroi sent. That dangerous space of Paroi, control Paroi has, and wagons that Paroi sent, but what makes it safe is the chesed. So I wanted to mention that. I wanted to thank Chika. I wanted to thank Maish. I appreciate it. I want to be mechazik the chevra. Yeah. It's one of the marks of our peoples. We're going like chasadim. It's one of the features of our people. So I wanted to share that with the chevra.
That was delicious, Rabbi.
Yeah. I have another inyan on the parsha I want to speak about, but I don't want to just jump to a different topic without doing a song in between. Yeah. Aryeh, come.
Welcome home, Aryeh Cohen.
What do you want to play, Aryeh? Yehuda, what should he play? Yehuda, what are you feeling?
Welcome home.
Where's Rabbi?
What? Hey. Come.
It's crazy.
Which one should we do?
Pretty sure. It might be a pretty strong. It's a gust.
What's only 250? I'd like to take 260.
Yeah, he did.
Why? How come Hashem had to tell him that he could go to Mitzrayim? How come Hashem had to tell him that he could go to
I think it's
Mitzrayim?
reinforcing with this. I'll tell you the Mitzrayim. He was mechazik this.
Hashem said it to him, or he saw that
He
he
was
could go?
mechazik. Hashem said it. I can nail it. This chizuk. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what it looks like.
Mike, become.
Nice, beautiful son. Huh? I want to share, David, I want to share another idea. Shloima, Mordcha, Yisrael. Aviad, I want the Chevra to hear this. Also, a little bit of a new knetch. Bij, I want you to hear this. A pasuk hit me in a different way this year, and I'd like to share this with the Chevra, Moshe. All of us learn from little kids. Yaakov Avinu is on the way to Mitzrayim. And before he gets to Egypt, there's Yehuda Shalach L'fanav al Yosef. He sends Yehuda ahead. Yosef HaTzadik's in Mitzrayim. Yaakov Avinu's coming down with the Shvatim, and he sends Yehuda in the front to do what? L'hayreis L'fanav Goishna. What's L'hayreis? What does he send? So Rashi says two pshatim. It says L'hayreis L'fanav Goishna. L'hayreis. What does this mean? He sends Yehuda in front. Those are the three words. L'hayreis L'fanav. Get these with L'hayreis L'fanav. Goishna, to the land of Goshen. What did he send him for? So Rashi has two pshatim. Says Rashi, L'hayreis L'fanav, pshat number 1. Lift nice makayim, to prepare for Yaakov a space. So one pshat in Rashi is L'hayreis, is to, it doesn't mean psak like a psak halacha, it means to make decisions. He says, Yehuda, go set up Goshen. Yaakov Avinu's coming, see where I should live, the other Shvatim, set it up for us. L'hayreis is to decide. He sent them to decide what? To create a little community. We're now going to live in Goshen, so please run in front, you set it up. Now, if there was somebody, one of the Shvatim tasked for this job, Chevra, Aaron, who would you task if you had any of the 12 Shvatim for this? The exact one who was sent for the job, Yehuda. It's Pashat. Yehuda's the king. La Yaseh Shevet mi Yehuda. The Melech's job is to organize the people, to give everybody roles and spaces. So, L'hayreis, you organize. Get me a place to live. Lift nice makam. Now, it happens to be that I love this. What's unique about Durham, Connecticut is there's really a space for people. When a bacher is accepted, there's really space for him. I love that the role of a king is to make space for the people. I love that. And it says, lift nice makam, to carve out a space for him. I think that's electric. Like, to be born to learn this pasuk would be kedai. The job of the Melech makes space for his people. The Melech makes space for the people, and it says Yehuda's job is lift nice makam, carve out a space. Now, on a very superficial level, it means to decide where everybody lives, Avala. This, you live here, but he makes sure that there's space. He thinks it out. What's everybody's roles and jobs and tasks? There's enough space for everybody. Lift nicely, makim, to carve out a space. The only one I would send for this role is Yehuda's the Melech. He's the Melech. The job of the king is to make space for his constituents. For the Avadim, there's space. Everyone has a role, a place to live, something to do. There's a role for everybody. That's a good melech. So lift my makim, to carve out a space. On a very physical sense means where am I living? On a much more spiritual, where's your space? Everybody has a job, a task, an importance. Lift my makim, Rav Johnny. It's nifla. So Rashi's first pshat, the only one in the world I would send is Yehuda. That makes sense, right, Yehuda? The Melech would be paina makim, would find the space, lift nicely makim, to clear out a space, to show him how to live there. This is your space, Mordcha. That's the job of the Melech, to show a person there's mamish space for you. Okay, that would be Yehuda's. But Rashi has a second pshat, Avli. You know Rashi's second pshat. Rashi's first pshat, the job of Yehuda, he's the only one I sent. Shloima comes Rashi, and he has a second pshat. Umedrash Agada says the Medrash, Rafala. The Medrash says, Lahayreis Lefanav. He sent him, what's that word, Lahayreis? Lahayreis is Hayraz, Psak. Now, according to this, Lahayreis Lefanav, according to Rashi's first pshat, it means to decide things, but somehow Lahayreis Melashin Lifnais Leimakam, to clear out a space. In Rashi's second pshat, it means Psak, L'sakin Lebeis Talmud. He should make a yeshiva. Shemisham Teitzei Hayra, from there should be Psak. So he sent you to make a yeshiva. I want you to establish a yeshiva. Did he physically build a yeshiva? Did he go there and quickly start learning? I don't know the picture. He said, Yehuda, I task you to make the yeshiva. A Beis Hayra.
Both are very similar, no? One is to make space for a person.
And it says to make a yeshiva. But he says here for Psak. Shemisham Teitzei Hayra, there Psak comes. And the question begs itself, my friends. Michal, the question is a pella. If you're sending somebody to make a yeshiva, what shvatim would you pick?
I don't know.
The ones I say, Zvulun supports Torah. Zvulun might be a choice. Yisachar is the learner, is the Chamor Garam, is the learner. Zvulun, Yisachar, appropriate. Shevet Levi. Shevet Levi is the one that's dedicated to Shevet to learn Torah. Yarim Mishpatach Yaakov, they were told to teach Torah. Shevet Levi. Shimon. Yaakov Avinu says that Shimon is very passionate, and he says Yefit Seim Be Yisrael, they should be Malamdei Tinaikas. I have 4 Shvatim I would pick from Shimon, Levi, Yisachar, Zvulun. What does Yehuda have to do with making a yeshiva? Yehuda's Malchus. The first job, lift nicely Makayim, everybody make a space, build a yeshiv. The only one I would ask is Yehuda. To make a yeshiva, Lahayreis Lefanav, to make the yeshiva, Yehuda. I want to tell you something I'm thinking a lot about, Maish, for other reasons. But I want to tell the Chevra what hit me this year, Maishla. Klal Yisrael has many roles for many people, Mardcha. They're all different roles. We need everything. We need all different types. You know how many Yidden we need? Every.
Wow!
We need all Yidden. And people have roles to play, and we have many needs and wants. One of the things in Klal Yisrael, and every Yid has to learn Torah, but there's a space for the person who Torah is umnasam. We need people learning Torah and yeshivas. I think, Maishi, the success of Klal Yisrael, it's very important. You could picture that learning Torah and the learners could separate themselves from Klal Yisrael, and you could have a certain divide that there's the learners and the non-learners. I think it's very important that it's all part of one ummah. And the ummah has to connect. Every part of the ummah is linked one to another and connected. I wonder to myself that Yaakov Avinu said the Melech who's involved in all the other roles, you start the yeshiva. That it's not viewed on an island. It's not separated from Klal Yisrael. And that task is meant for the people that are sitting and learning Torah to respect and value the rest of Klal Yisrael, and the rest of Klal Yisrael to respect them. There's somebody started an organization, a beautiful organization, that the rest of Klal Yisrael should support yeshivas. And I celebrate, it's true. All of Am Yisrael, we have to learn Torah and support Torah. Eitz chayim l'machzikim ba. It's a tree of life, and those that support Torah ma'ushar. We have to all support Torah. But I think equally is to make a matzah where B'nai Torah respect, where there's a connection to B'nai Torah and Am Yisrael. It has to be, it can't be separated from Klal Yisrael. I wonder to myself, it interests me and fascinates me that Yaakov Avinu sends Yehuda to start the yeshivas. And the Melech, involved in all the other facets of Klal Yisrael, you start the yeshivas. Is there some message here that the Limud Torah, it has to be celebrated by all of Klal Yisrael, connected to all of Klal Yisrael, connected to all the other arenas of Am Yisrael. It's not a separated branch. The learners of Torah, part of Am Yisrael, connected to Am Yisrael, one with Am Yisrael. All of Klal Yisrael learns Torah, every single Yid, Meirasha Kilas Yaakov. But of course there's yeshivas, of course there Talmidei Chachamim, of course there are people that are Meirei Rabbi Yisrael, but Am Yisrael is connected to them. I want to tell you an interesting story, Avila. I can't swear to every detail, though the story is true. There was a time that the Israeli government had it sad to support yeshivas very extremely. Will they completely undertake to support yeshivas? And Reb Shach, I see that. Reb Shach, there was a time the Israeli government had it sad to support yeshivas fully. And Rav Shach didn't want it. He gave 3 reasons. Rav Shach did not want the yeshivas to fully support Klal Yisrael. He had 3 reasons. I want to speak about one of the reasons. Rav Shach said that I'm worried if the Israeli government supports yeshivas, the Rosh Yeshivas will hole up in the yeshiva. I want the Rosh Yeshivas going around Klal Yisrael, connected to Klal Yisrael. He was worried. They're supported and they're out of sight, out of mind. The yeshivas and Klal Yisrael, the Kolim, the Batei Yara have to be part of us. We're connected. They're us and we're them. It's one. It's one place. All of Am Yisrael feels close there, feels wanted there, and feels a certain connection. Our people. And it's certainly important that the learners of Torah, the Talmud Torah Keneged Kulam, are connected in a deep and sincere and real way to the rest of Klal Yisrael.
Wow.
Rav Shach was worried if the government would support yeshivas, the Rosh Yeshivas would hole up in the yeshivas and there'd be a divide between. He liked that the yeshivas have to come and present to Klal Yisrael. We need you. You need us. We need you. We're one people. Tzazamen, together. It interests me that Yaakov Avinu said, Melech of Yisrael, you start the yeshivas. I don't want separate branches. I don't want it to, it's all one zach, it's all part, it's all tzazamen. This is something I've been thinking a lot about. We have to all, the learners of Torah, the livers of Torah, and all of Klal Yisrael that are learners of Torah, and appreciate Torah, have to connect to the yeshivas in a beautiful way. Torah, we speak about the situation we're in. Torah is Megan, Torah protects. But it's important, and the task is both from the people not in yeshivas and in yeshivas. The task is a two-way task. It's a task of those not in yeshiva to appreciate yeshivas, support yeshivas, visit yeshivas, feel comfortable in yeshivas, and the task in the yeshivas is to invite in and to connect and to know we belong to Am Yisrael. We're part of Am Yisrael. We're connected. I wonder to myself, Maishi, that Yaakov Avinu says the Melech start the yeshivas. It's not a separate branch. It's part of Am Yisrael. And the Melech, Yehuda, who sets up all the other aspects of Klal Yisrael, sets up the yeshivas. It's one, there's a deep connection. That's what I wonder to myself. I certainly believe this point, the learners of Torah, to always, wherever we are, learn Torah and celebrate learners of Torah. Celebrate. My father had a very, very beautiful appreciation for the Lakewood, for the Yeshiva of Lakewood. He would talk about it and appreciate it. He was a learner of Torah. He was also an appreciator of Torah. And this is something all of our people, we want to learn Torah and appreciate Torah. Maikir Rabbanan. Celebrate learners of Torah. Celebrate it, support it, appreciate it, feel connected to it because it's ours, it's part of us. There's definitely a possibility that branch could be separated and people feel distant. Chas v'shalom, it should be that way. It's all one part of Klal Yisrael, an essential, an important part of Klal Yisrael that connects and bonds with the rest of Klal Yisrael. I've told the Chevra, Avi, sometimes let's say we have a Friday night Einig. Sometimes a Einig, Shal Shuddis. Let's go to Shal Shuddis. This past week, Shal Shuddis was like, wow. It was very holy. Then you can count how many guys are there in the whole yeshiva. But to me, Akiva, the whole yeshiva was there. Thousands more were there. Because each guy is there, then he's close to a guy. Some guy in the dorm, late might say Shabbos, sat next to, ate a bagel next to a guy who was at that Shalosh Shodus, then he was impacted by that Shalosh Shodus also. But the Tanai is that there's closeness. The Tanai is if there's separation, that Shalosh Shodus won't impact the way it needs to. When I see, let's say there's 40 guys there, 40 people. Let's say we have a certain matziv. It's this. Somebody said that only this number. If the dorm counselor's there, his whole dorm is there because he's close to his dorm. We have an einig, a big moment, and there's 10 dorm counselors at an einig singing Ka'ach Seif, and his whole dorm's there because he's going to say good Shabbos to the dorm with the specialness of that Ka'ach Seif. But the one Tanai is there's connection and relationship that the two interact with kavod, with love. So then it's able to flow one from another. This is perhaps Yaakov Avinu says that Yehud has to start the yeshivas. They can't stand separate. They can't stand. There has to be a connection, a relationship, a closeness, a respect, a mutual recognition. We're one people. So B'dafka the Melech, whose job it is to set up all the other institutions. Say, okay, he's setting up the banks, he sets up the falafel store, he sets up the restaurants. Maybe, no, he's setting up the yeshivas also. It's one, there's a connection between all the branches. That's what I wanted to share with the Chevra. The guy should have an outstanding
Thank you, Rebbe. Thank you, Rebbe.
Yo, my microwave got taken by like a month ago by the last fire. I get it back.
So cute. Wow.
Uncle Dave.
Thank you.